Hey.
OG Bloodline members, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, will both compete in marquee matches at WrestleMania 41. Jey will challenge for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, while Roman Reigns is set for a huge triple threat match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. However, an unexpected wildcard could play a major role in how Roman's match unfolds at the grandest stage of them all. His own cousin, Jey Uso. The bloodline fractures. In the weeks leading up to WrestleMania 41, the once ironclad unity of the bloodline began to fracture once again. The stable, once hailed as the most dominant faction in WWE history, had endured numerous internal conflicts over the past few years. Jey Uso, the self-proclaimed main event Uso, was often caught in the middle, torn between loyalty to his family and his own rise in ambition. Things took a darker turn when Jimmy Uso was brutally attacked by Gunther, the reigning World Heavyweight Champion. On an episode of Monday Night Raw, Gunther orchestrated a sickening ambush, tying Jey to the ropes and forcing him to watch helplessly as his twin brother was beaten to a bloody pulp. The WWE Universe watched in horror as Jimmy's body lay lifeless in the ring, and Gunther stood tall, his white shirt stained only metaphorically. WWE opted not to show blood, but the moment was just as chilling. Jey's transformation. The trauma of that night changed Jey on the following episode of Raw. He emerged clad in all black, his demeanor colder than ever. There was no dancing, no smiling, no yeet chants with the crowd. He refused to engage with fans, a stark departure from the charismatic and beloved star he once was. It was clear something had snapped. His confrontation with Gunther that night was intense. No fists were thrown, but the tension was palpable. Jey didn't need to lay a hand on the champion. His silence and scowl said everything. He promised to win the World Heavyweight Championship, not for personal glory, but for his family. Yet, with Jimmy out and Roman Reigns indifferent to the attack, Jey stood alone. Roman's silence speaks volumes. Roman Reigns, the self-proclaimed tribal chief, did nothing. He didn't check on Jimmy. He didn't reach out to Jey. He remained focused on his own WrestleMania moment, a triple threat match against Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. To many, it was business as usual for Roman, who has a long history of manipulating family members to protect his reign. But this time, the silence spoke louder than words. Jey was once Roman's right-hand man, a loyal soldier who sacrificed everything for the bloodline. But as Roman prepared for his biggest title defense yet, he failed to show even a hint of concern for the family he claimed to protect. Survivor Series to WrestleMania, a brewing storm. It's important to remember how Jey ended up back in the bloodline. At Survivor Series, War Games, Jey made a shocking return to help Roman and the original bloodline defeat the new bloodline faction. It seemed like a reunion built on redemption, forgiveness, and family unity. Paul Heyman even orchestrated an emotional promo tour about the reformation of the OG bloodline, but that unity was surface level. Beneath it, resentment brewed. The crown jewel of Control Roman Reigns had ruled WWE with an iron fist since 2020. His dominance became the stuff of legend, longest reigning Universal Champion in modern history, undefeated at multiple WrestleManias, and a kingmaker who decided which family members could thrive and which ones would suffer. He wore the crown, but the throne was built on manipulation. He forced Jey to acknowledge him under threat of exile. He made Jimmy choose between blood and pride. He used Solo Sikoa as his enforcer, a silent warrior who carried out his orders without question. Roman didn't lead the bloodline, he controlled it. WrestleMania 41, the collision point. As WrestleMania 41 arrived at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, a storm was brewing. Over 60,000 fans packed the stadium, the air thick with anticipation. Cody Rhodes was ready to finish his story. CM Punk was out for vengeance. Roman Reigns was poised to solidify his legacy. But the most dangerous man in the stadium wasn't in the match. He was outside the ring, pacing like a predator. Jey Uso had been pushed to his limit. The match itself was an instant classic. Chaotic, emotional, and brutal. Roman pulled every trick in the book. Heyman interfered. Solo delivered a Samoan spike. The referee was knocked out. Roman looked ready to capitalize. He turned to Jey, barked an order like so many times before, "Get the chair, end this." Jey slid into the ring. The chair felt heavy, too heavy, not just in weight, but in symbolism. Roman shouted again. The crowd rose to its feet, thousands holding their breath. And then, Jey Uso swung, but not at Cody. The steel chair cracked across Roman Reigns' ribs. The impact echoed through the arena. Heyman screamed. Solo rushed the ring, only to eat a brutal chair shot to the jaw. Roman staggered back. Betrayed. A moment of liberation. Standing over Roman, Jey uttered the words fans had waited years to hear. "You were never my chief." With that declaration, Jey Uso broke free. The crowd exploded in cheers. Cody Rhodes seized the moment, delivering not one, not two, but 3 Crossroads finishers. The referee, barely conscious, made the count. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes had finished his story. Roman's 1,300-plus day reign was over. But the bigger story was Jey Uso's rebellion. Aftermath. The fallout begins. As confetti rained from the rafters, Cody celebrated. But all eyes were on the ring. Roman lay broken, staring up at the cousin who had once followed him blindly. Heyman looked crushed, realizing the dynasty was crumbling. Jey dropped the chair at Roman's feet, the final symbolic gesture of liberation. He walked up the ramp, pausing only once to look back. No words were spoken, none were needed. The message was clear. Jey Uso was no longer a pawn in Roman's empire. He was free. What's next for the bloodline? In the days and weeks after WrestleMania 41, the WWE universe buzzed with speculation. Would Roman seek revenge? Could the bloodline survive such a betrayal? What would Solo do? Stay loyal to Roman or follow Jey into the unknown? Paul Heyman remained eerily silent in the aftermath. Roman disappeared from the television. Solo was seen training alone. And Jey? He stood tall, never gloating, never bragging, just free. For years, WWE had told the story of the bloodline. But at WrestleMania 41, Jey Uso wrote his own chapter, one of pain, courage, and ultimately freedom. And in doing so, he didn't just end Roman Reigns' reign.